This is a place.
This is the place?
This is a place. We want to talk about. This is a place.
Welcome to this week's episode of This is a Place podcast. My name is Nate.
And my name is Brandon.
Okay. And happy National Candy Corn Day.
Candy corn?
Yeah.
I thought you were doing something different.
Okay. Did you want to do the mischief
No,
night?
let's talk about candy corn.
The
The worst Halloween candy.
worst one?
What's your opinion on candy
Well,
corn?
here's the question. Is it Halloween? Good heavens. Is it Halloween candy or is it just like fall candy? Because you have it for Thanksgiving as well.
Yeah. I don't know.
I just figured because tomorrow is, I believe, Halloweeny.
It is.
Happy
I believe
Halloweeny. So I thought we'd talk about candy. Some people love candy corn. Some people hate it and
Some people
think it's just okay.
think it's just okay. I think it's cool. I mean, you've probably seen that if you stack it up, it actually makes corn.
Oh yeah, I've seen people do that.
That's why it's called candy corn, right? But other than that, not a fan. I'm not a big fan of the texture of it. I'm not a
Really?
big fan of the flavor of it. I can eat if they have varieties. I can sometimes stomach that, but also the texture just not my favorite. So
Huh.
I don't know. I know
To
people
me,
are.
it's just basically sugar. You're just eating flavored sugar. So I don't, if I'm at the candy aisle and that's a choice for some reason, it's not the bag I'm picking up, but if I'm offered some candy corn, I'll eat it. And I do like it. Candy corn with like peanuts is pretty good.
Oh, so you attribute it more to what I think of a Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
You
it's
get
more
like the
traditionally
little
done.
nut cup
Yeah. Yeah.
and the little red peanut thingies, the little cluster.
Sure.
What are
Yeah.
those called?
Oh, I forget.
Boston.
Boston beans or something?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What are those called? Boston baked beans. Those aren't even the ones I'm thinking of. Those are okay, but the ones that are like kind of prickly-ish.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's
The
not oh,
French. Oh, the
Boston.
French burnt peanuts.
Okay.
Yeah, so you get some of those. You get some Boston baked beans. You got your candy corn, your nuts. It's a Thanksgiving staple, right? But there you go. Not even a Halloween thing you're attributing it to. You're attributing it
But you
to.
still see it come out for Halloween.
Oh
Even at
yeah,
our trunk or treat the other night, somebody handed out small bags of candy corn.
they did, huh?
Yes, sir. And a lot of kids kind of like go, no, thank you. And I'm like, I'll take it. Is it sugar? Then yes.
Yeah, I didn't see that. Interesting.
But let's change subjects real quick. You were disappointed because today is also National Text Your Ex Day.
I was disappointed. Yes.
What? I don't. We got to read why that is a thing and what are your. Well, it's probably obvious what you're supposed to do,
Yeah, it speaks for itself. Maybe it's
but
kind of a mending the fences type thing. Or is it that you need somebody to hang out with on Halloween? So the only way to get that is to text your ex.
you would think it would be like February 13th, the day before Valentine's Day, that you would text your ex.
True. This is a fun fact. Do you know what the first text message was? What the first text message said?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're looking at the same thing as
Merry
me.
Christmas.
Yeah. But what does that have to do with texting your ex? This provides no explanation why October 30th is Text Your Ex Day. This may be the most arbitrary holiday we have found.
Yeah.
There was
Because
an
even
X
even the
somewhere. This is
well,
what
even the
happened.
first text was sent December 3rd. So it's like,
There was somebody out there that said, "There's got to be a way that I can get my ex to text me." So they created this holiday. They proposed this holiday.
or they
Just
wanted to text their ex. And so
that could be
they
too.
wanted an excuse to do it.
Yeah, you gotta respect the hustle.
Exactly.
I actually was disappointed you didn't want to talk about Mischief Night.
You know who we could text?
Who's that?
Matt, our ex
Oh, our ex
co-host,
intern
our ex co-host.
who keeps coming back.
Yeah.
But I was a little disappointed you didn't choose Mischief Night because I know that's not something we really do here in Utah. I was happy that on the East Coast they celebrate that a little bit more. And on my mission, instead
Really?
of yeah, in,
Really?
instead of one night that I didn't have to go out and do missionary work, I got 2 nights in a row that
So
we had to stay
mischief night
inside.
is like a thing.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
So they wanted us to stay inside because it could be dangerous or whatever.
Really?
Yep. Once it went darker, I think at like 4 or 5 o'clock every night, both Halloween and the day before, we had to go inside. So it's the small things when you're a missionary. It's the small things like that that you just love.
There's only like once or twice where we had to go in early. I always enjoyed those days. We
Yes.
could. I only got sick once. I think I told that story on Good Friday.
Right.
My companions never got sick, so I worked like every day on mission before, besides a couple of them. But mischief night, huh? I didn't know that was a thing. Like in Uruguay, Halloween wasn't really a thing in the city. I was in the city one year. I think my first year was in the city. And some of the people, probably because they're going to like American schools, were trying to get it going. So they would go, I saw a couple kids trying to trick or treat, and they just say, Happy Halloweeny, something like that. But I'm sure a lot of people, I'm sure maybe they had like houses kind of picked out that they
Right.
knew they would have, because I'm sure a lot of people are like, What are you doing? What's this?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Mischief night. Because like
Mischief night.
we all do. We all get into mischief.
We all
But
do.
sometimes I like to get into mischief. We all do. I did not know that was a thing. Learned something new today.
That is a thing. Way better than candy corn. I would eat Mischief Night over candy corn any day.
So today, on Halloween Eve, you can pick which holiday you want to celebrate. You can go eat
Just
some
celebrate
candy
all of
corn.
them.
You can go get some candy corn and eat it while you text your ex and cause some mischief by doing it.
Oh,
Those kind of go hand in hand,
there's
right? Mischief and texting your ex,
yeah, it might lead to some
depending
mischief,
on depending on how your relationship ended.
right?
But it says ex. It doesn't say have to be your ex girlfriend or boyfriend. It could be like your ex coworker, couldn't it?
Hmm.
Could it be like your ex
Ex best
um
friend,
best friend,
ex business partner.
ex business partner, your ex mischief partner?
There you go. And you know what? That can be an item on your checklist because it's also National Checklist Day.
Oh, good heavens. It's just that some days there's just like nothing to pick, and
For
today
the
is just
British
full.
people, it's also ex summertime day because summertime ends today for the British.
Summertime, summertime.
So many things to celebrate, but the thing for us that we're most happy to celebrate is tomorrow, Halloween. But with tomorrow being Halloween, it also marks the end of our Halloween related episodes, which is
But does it
kind of sad.
really? But does it really? Do we have to stop?
We don't have to, but we generally do.
Okay, fair enough.
We can keep going, Nate. I mean, if you just want to, this could just be a Halloween podcast. Halloween every day, all day.
In I'm going to spoil a little bit of the movie Venom. It's not a super big spoiler, but one of the girls wears a Christmas tree ornament on her science lab coat thingy. And he's like, dude, it's freaking July. And she's like, my mom made it. So she celebrates Christmas year round. Why can we not celebrate Halloween year round?
Halloween's really a state of mind.
Hmm.
And that's where
What's
my
the true
mind.
meaning of Halloween?
It's a good question.
Did I send you that video though that says it's only been the last couple 100 years where ghosts float? Like all
Oh,
the accounts of like people seeing ghosts before then, they were just like you couldn't tell they were ghosts basically.
like having someone be kind of see-through, transparent.
Yeah, transparent or
Yeah.
floating and all that stuff because that's when photography started coming to be and
Hmm.
the mishaps with taking pictures.
Yeah.
I thought that was
Mishaps.
interesting. Mishaps.
Nah. Or just real ghosts, Nate.
That's when they started capturing ghosts. Maybe that's it. They just didn't see them before.
You just didn't have evidence. Really should have Josh on the podcast for a Halloween episode because he's seen some stuff. He's seen some
Really.
scary stuff.
I was playing pickleball this morning, and my friend said that on his mission he saw way too much stuff. So he like paranormal movies, it triggers him.
It's too
So he
real.
doesn't, it's too real. So even though he said he did go see Smile 2, he said, but
Mm.
that's kind of like so that's kind of like pushing
It's not
to the
real.
edge.
It's less real.
So yeah, and then yeah, it's interesting that some people are like, what? So I want to hear all these stories. I love the stories.
Maybe we should have him on eventually for a
So
spooky
Josh,
episode.
anyways, I was
What?
gonna say, did he have experiences or did he go ghost hunting or just
It's just experiences in the house he grew up in, on his mission, the house he lives in now. He sees so much stuff.
like some people just have the gift?
Yeah, Maddie was talking to him. She's like, "That's a spiritual gift." I'm like, "How does that benefit you to see scary things? Like that would not. That's not a gift I want. I want to give that gift back. My gift is I can find anything. That's my spiritual gift, and that's way more
Well,
useful."
well, going back to the floating ghost and transparent ghost, I think that's what they said. Like most of the stories of people seeing ghosts and stuff before then were like it wasn't till like a couple hundred years ago that we started making it a haunted thing or whatever, right? And they're mostly, I don't
Hmm.
know. Anyways, we could have a whole podcast just on that, just on the
Not for now. We're not a full-time Halloween podcast yet,
no,
so we have to get through this last episode, and we can move on to whatever else we got coming up. It's
yeah,
not Halloween, but it's a good one. It's a good final episode because we went to another haunted house. We've covered a couple haunted houses on here so far, but this is like, I don't know, maybe the biggest, the oldest haunted house that finally we're doing. And I don't
it's
know.
interesting.
I don't know if I want to talk about the history of this place because I'm still holding out that we can have somebody from the haunted house on eventually because I really
Talk
would like to
about it.
talk to, head honchos over there. Maybe have them take us through the haunted house at some point.
Yeah, we
But
should have.
so I don't know. I'm happy to just talk about the haunted house in general and our experience and what we saw. Less of the details about the haunt itself. I don't know. What do you think?
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it. I will say we do have to at least note this place is the oldest haunted house in Utah. And it's only been around since 1990. Isn't that crazy? That doesn't
Okay, that's what I
seem.
was gonna ask. How long has it been around?
You know what? Maybe we should talk about the history because this says it was actually started in 1984 as the Institute of Terror, but was then sold to the current owners as the other guy who started the Institute of Terror moved to Atlanta to do something else. So I guess even earlier than that, but as the um this has some fun history actually. After 9/11 terrorist attacks, the company changed its name to Nightmare on 13th. instead of the Institute of Terror.
Okay, that's what it is. Yeah, it was Institute of Terror. That's right.
They do have the Institute of Terror now, but that's a whole other haunted house within the haunted house. Interesting.
Is that what it's that second haunted house is called? Institute of Terror?
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Crazy. Okay, that's enough. Let's talk about us going through. So this is our second time going through the haunted house this year, because the first time was when we went and saw Night of Wrath, and they took us through with the lights on. But it is so much better. It's cool to see it with the lights on, right? It's cool to see all the behind the scenes stuff. But when they turn the lights off, it's a whole other world.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying to somebody in our group last night was it was fun going through. He said, "Was it scary in the daytime?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, it really was." I said, "It was just fun to like see all the details of everything
Right.
because when you're walking through, it's usually pretty dark. You don't get to see all the cool scenes and backgrounds and the time and talent that takes to put the rooms together."
Hmm.
So I did enjoy the tour. At the same time, part of me wishes that we went through the haunted house normally before we took the tour
Kind of
because it
ruin the
kind of,
magic.
yeah, because you kind of knew what was coming and even remembered where to go in some of the spots that you get lost.
Yeah.
So we kind of cheated in that aspect, but still fun. Still, I mean, that's why it'd be fun to have somebody who's either the guy or the owner on the podcast eventually to kind of talk about the history and how everything gets put together. But I would just have like a million questions on how everything works. But
Yeah.
they've come a long ways from the 90s. And this was the first haunted house that I ever went to. We talked about Old Mill last week from the movie, and I remember driving by the Old Mill a few times as a kid, and it looked terrifying to go through a haunted house. I didn't really understand how it worked, so I assumed it was in my mind that you basically were going through an empty building, and that's enough to scare the crap out of me in the dark, you know? So I didn't realize it was more like a play or a theatrical type thing. So when I got asked to go, it was actually the girl who babysat me as a kid. So her and her husband, I think they were probably even newly or weds, said, "Hey, we want to take you guys to a haunted house," when I was a teenager, probably 14 or 15. I'm like, "Oh, these are awesome." And that started my love for going to haunted houses. And like I've said before, I feel like back in the 90s, mid to late 90s, there was like a haunted house like on every 2 miles down State Street. I feel like
Really?
they were everywhere. And they were only maybe $5 to $10 to go to each one.
Hmm. Do you remember what it was like when you first went? Like how different it is now compared to when you first went?
I don't remember much. I just remember the building, of course, that's where we went. I don't remember a whole lot of what we did walking through the haunted house on the 13th.
Yeah.
My wife and I went because the cool thing about Nightmare on 13th, since it's just a building that I'm assuming they own, so it's there year round. So it's
Right.
not like they take things down and then a business comes in for the rest of the year. Um, my wife and I went like on our anniversary weekend when Friday the 13th hit. So it was in March. We went probably 10 years ago. So it seemed like something would be fun to do. And it was, and it was pretty crowded. But back then I feel like I remember that experience more than obviously my first time, but I feel like a lot of stuff has changed since we went
Hmm.
10 years ago. Like I swear, like the room that you like wait in line in was just basically a big boxed room, like nothing to it. And then you waited to go into the haunted house. But once you got into the haunted, so they still had the photo booth area, right? Back then. And then and I remember back then we had Beetlejuice was our guy.
Mm.
And I think we had pictures from it somewhere. Then you go into another room and wait again. And it was like this going back and forth, kind of like the ropes. But I feel like it was almost like like, what do you call it? Like a stadium type seating, but you're standing. So it was like a movie theater, and it had a screen playing stuff. I remember that. And then once you got through that line, so it was something to watch while you're in line, basically the second line, the hidden line, and then you go into the haunted house. So I remember that the most of my experience going through with my wife like 10 years ago. But our
Yeah.
experience this time was I feel like they figured things out. Unlike Lagoon, they used technology to get things figured out. So I like the fact that you kind of buy your time slot, right?
Hmm.
So you're not just waiting around for 2 hours to go through
I'm sure
the
it
haunted
gets pretty
house.
busy sometimes, and you have to
Oh
wait
yeah,
in the
we were
full
probably the
line.
first. Were we the first?
One of the first groups, probably. We were the first time slot for the night we went, and it was on a Monday night, so it's not going to be super busy. But getting there at the beginning, there's the outside line, which you can see from the street, like right up against the
Hmm.
street, and we didn't even wait in that at all. We walked right up to go into the other line inside the building, like you mentioned.
Because was there three lines? They had like
They've
our
got
time
like
slot, the next time slot, and then they had general admission. Was that what it was?
I think
Like for
it's
people who walk up, or do they give them a?
no, I think that's like a kind of a fast pass type
Oh, maybe it was
line,
a fast pass. That was what it
like
was,
VIP or whatever.
right?
But we were, yeah, like we didn't have to wait inside. Like, do we even have to? I guess we walked through kind of the queue, but we didn't really have to wait. We walked up and
We
we
spent
don't.
more time trying to fill in the gaps from the. It reminded me of Shrek, right? When that guy's running back and forth between
We
the
spent more
lines,
time
and
waiting for me to find my tickets
I was going to
than
say
we did
that you
actually
brought it
waiting
up.
in the line.
Yes, that was embarrassing, Brandon. What
I
happened?
know it was. I for some reason, so I had two tickets. I only had one saved on my Apple Pay.
Oh,
The other one, for some reason, didn't get saved, so I couldn't find it, and that's what happened.
okay. Yeah, it's annoying when it says save it to your
I was
wallet
almost
and
to the
then
point to ask the leaders, like, can you just trust me? Like, I bought the ticket, right? Like,
right.
I can't pull it up.
Then it finally
I
pulled
have
up.
an honest face. Can you just trust me?
Right. That's what I say. Yeah, it was interesting. The lady kept saying, like, because Becky and I were in the front of the line to go into the photo booth thing that you start off.
Mm-hmm.
And it almost made it sound like we were waiting for two people to like show up at the haunted house. I'm like, no, they're literally like right there, like trying to scan their tickets.
Yeah,
But it just took so long. I think they were thinking, like, are they seriously waiting for them to show up? Like, no, they are here with us. Your security person just won't let them through.
yeah.
That was probably the scariest part of the whole night.
Thinking you were gonna lose me,
Thinking Brandon's not going to get in.
and we wouldn't have been able to do the podcast.
Oh yeah, we would. It'd just be me talking.
You just had to have Matt come on because Matt was with us, and we would have had Matt join us, but you know, schedules just didn't line up. So sorry, Matt. We'll get you next year when we do the haunted house trilogy.
Ooh.
But it was cool to see Wrath talking,
Still there.
still
Wrath is
there,
still there.
still from the movie.
Has not been arrested yet.
Nope. And I don't know, what was kind of your general feelings on the haunted house? Was it pretty scary? Was it not that bad because you'd already walked through and knew all the hiding spots? What were your thoughts?
There's that I brought up. It's like I already kind of knew what was coming. And for me, like if I'm walking even down the street and you're walking at me and then you like just jump at me, you're gonna startle me and I'm gonna kind of like go, ugh, you know?
Right.
So that's not, to me, it's not scary. It's just me like just a
Reacting.
reflex reacting to thinking somebody's gonna hit me. But as far as getting my heart pumped and like scared, like it doesn't really happen on houses like this. There was one part in the haunted house where, can I say, there's a spoiler alert, where you think the floor just dropped.
Mm,
That one kind of got me a little bit, but not enough. Um, but to me, going to haunted houses, it's more about the
the vibe.
actually, the vibe, yeah, the scenery. Like to
Yeah.
me, it's like almost like going to a museum is best way to put it. Like I just love like the attention to details and
Mm-hmm.
the cool craftsmanship and the artistry and all that stuff. So that's
How much
why,
time it takes to do that. It's just amazing.
yeah. And that's why I think it was really fun going through with the lights on because you can really appreciate everything they did and see everything. So that's to me, it's more about the experience, not necessarily going there because I'm going to be scared. In some haunted houses, I almost feel like the actors can ruin the experience. But this one, I felt the actors did what they were supposed to do and it worked out. So I enjoyed it
Do you have a
much
favorite
better
part,
than
a
Lagoon.
favorite room or
I really liked
scene?
it when it was the snow or winter.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
They had kind of a Yeti abominable snowman type thing
Yeah.
and
And
the
then
dragon.
they were um kind of looked like bubbles, but it was kind of like a bubble slash snow looking type thing they were pumping out. So it made it feel like you were in the cold.
Hmm.
And I always love the tunnel, the spinning tunnel. I don't know what it is. It's that whole
That
illusion.
one
Even
is extra special.
that one's really good.
Yeah.
That one's like super good. But I even enjoy the one at Lagoon that's not super good, but
The one that
it
doesn't
still
spin.
works.
Oh, you're
Sometimes
saying
it spins.
inside the clown house.
Yeah, in the haunted. Yeah, the one at for the ride. No, that one's
The right the
horrible.
the right one. Yeah, that one does
It never
nothing.
spins, and yeah. But overall, I love those. It's so trippy that I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall, it's fun, and I like the fact that Nightmare is a pretty big place, so it takes a minute to walk through. Because there's nothing worse than when you spend more time waiting in line for a haunted house than it takes to actually walk through it. That's pretty frustrating. But overall, I think for what you get, I think it's a good one.
Yeah.
I almost enjoy like the exterior and the waiting in line, just like it's just so cool. Like the whole atmosphere of Nightmare on 13th, like that
Yeah.
whole waiting area is just so cool. So sometimes I appreciate that more than actually inside the house.
I do think, and I'll live here and say I think it's my favorite. I like the others I've gone to. Wouldn't say I've gone to like a bad one here. There's not one that I'd say is really bad
Outside of Lagoon,
outside of Lagoon,
right?
but this one is probably my favorite
Huh.
for the simple fact that they do it all. Like it's got the vibe, it's got the intricate set pieces, the actors aren't ruining it. I don't know. It's just they've done it for so long, and I just think they do such a great job. And
Yeah.
they change it all the time too. I mean, it's not changing drastically, but even from last year when I went, they had completely redone a couple of rooms, and that's no small task to do. So yeah, it's pretty cohesive. Like it's got everything you'd expect. You got the clown section, you got kind of a haunted house type section, and then I don't know. I think they just do a really good job. Um there's not really like a dull moment to me. Maybe there's like
Yeah.
spots where you're not scared, but there's nothing that you walk through and it's like, oh, that was kind of what was the point of that? They did have a spot like that where they had, and they completely revamped this. They had just kind of a black room where you walk in, and it's got that green fog. You know what
Yeah.
I'm talking about? And it was just a room, and then there was a person that would jump up. They completely took that out, and they made it so you're underwater and you're walking through all that instead of just one room you walk in and then have to find your way out. So that was probably the only lull in the haunted house, and they got rid of it. So I thought,
Yeah, I love that about haunted houses where it makes it look like you're walking through water or a swamp and then
mm-hmm,
people are hiding underneath the fog to jump up. The one I was at the front of the line and there was a group in front of us, a bigger group. So I don't, were you guys getting mad at all how slow I was going? But I was literally like baby stepping the whole time, trying to get the people in front of us. Because that's the worst part about going through a haunted house is if people in front of you, you see it. It's like watching the movie before you see the movie,
right,
right? It's spoiler alerts. So I was trying really hard to slow down so that our group could experience everything without the other group
right.
ruining it. And every once in a while, I'm like, okay, we lost them. Like when we walked up those big staircase, I couldn't see them at all. And then so I'm like, oh,
Like
cool,
with the
we
lighting,
finally. There was a big stairwell that we walked. I don't remember. I just remember
that
there's
yeah.
a different size stairwell that we walked up, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, cool, we lost them. And then 3 minutes later, there they are.
Mm.
So I don't know if they were just taking their time or they were stuck behind somebody else, but
That is one downside to nightmares. I feel like you get bottlenecked. You catch up to the groups a lot. Like, I don't know if you how much you remember it, but the first year when we went to Dead City and during COVID, we were completely alone the
yeah,
whole time.
yeah,
And it was terrifying because not only do they trigger stuff to not just get the first person, but the next, next one after, a couple after. Like we were completely focused on by everything. And it probably doesn't help that we were a group of 9 people. That hurts probably to be in that big of a group. But when you and I went to that one, it was still the scariest thing I've gone through because it was
really.
just we 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 weren't with another group at all. It was just
There's
you and
nobody
I.
in front of us and nobody chasing us.
Yeah.
And I remember when we went to Dead City was it? Which one did we do? Was it Santa Claus one?
The Krampus one.
Did we do Krampus at Dead City?
Mm-hmm.
I just remember we went, and so it's not obviously not a whole lot of people are thinking about haunted houses. So was it me, you, Matt, my wife? No, and then Matt brought like a friend, like a coworker came. Do you remember that
Oh,
one at
that's
Dead
right.
City in
Yeah.
Murray?
Mm-hmm.
Was that Christmas?
I think so.
I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, that one was fun too because like you said, I don't feel like we were bunching up with groups.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. So that's probably my only knock on Nightmare is, and it's hard. It's hard to regulate that. Sometimes the actors
Because
will
you
step
gotta
in
push so many, yeah,
and
people
they'll like
through.
block you from going through, because they want you to have that experience. But it's hard to avoid. That's pretty good. I feel like last year was more scary to me. This year, and Matt made this point too that he kind of wanted me to convey is they did not have that many actors when we went. And I think part of that is being there in the middle of the week. But I'm a little surprised that this close to Halloween they didn't have more. Did you kind of get that vibe that there wasn't a ton of actors?
Yeah, there were some spots where I'm like, oh, there's no actor. That's probably where they would be hiding.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they had enough, and maybe that's it. Like I was saying, sometimes the actors there's too many of them, and I think it can kind of ruin the experience
Yeah,
because they're jumping out every 2 seconds. So you're just like, okay, okay, okay.
it's enough.
But I also wonder too because we were earlier in the day
That's true.
that maybe people were still getting ready to come out, do their acting. Because the parking lot, there was definitely a lot of options to park when we
Right.
got there, but there wasn't a lot when we left.
Yeah, it got busier.
So it definitely got busier. But yeah, I thought overall, like I said, sometimes the actors, there's too many of them. that can kind of ruin it. But
Were
I
there
didn't really
any
have a
actor
complaint.
scares that got you pretty good?
I liked the ones where they're one of them. I wasn't sure at the beginning, like, was that a real person or was that because like he came like I'm surprised he didn't hit me or touch me when they kind of they're like on what do you call them? Like bungee cords or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they can kind of jump at you or swing, bungee swing type thing. And
The guy that ran up
those
the
are pretty
wall.
cool. I think that's really cool that they can kind of like jump out at you. But at the same time, I'm like, oh man, people like that. I'm like, are you just like exhausted by the end of your shift? Or the guy that has to stand in the room that has the strobe light. I'm like, oh, how do you not just pass out or
Right.
go crazy?
Yeah. There were a couple parts that got me. I mean, I probably had a bit of an advantage because I know the place pretty well. So I know where the hiding spots are. But there was one where a guy from my work, I saw it coming when they have it's kind of like a mirror. You can't tell there's another side that they're hiding.
Oh yeah.
I saw it coming, and I was like, I know they're gonna scare him, and it's gonna be so good. And yeah, he was terrified. He did not see it coming. But my favorite sections, it's hard to pick a favorite section. I probably have three. I love the scarecrow area and the kind of the pumpkin area, the the mansion where you walk up the stairs and that whole area, and then I love also the bayou type area.
Yeah. And I love the bridge that it feels like a bridge and it looks like there's a drop off that you can fall into.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool.
But I think my biggest detail I love about this one is the smells. They do the smells so good.
Yes. Some rooms smell worse than others,
Yeah,
which I guess is probably by design.
the pumpkin area smelled great. It smelled like pumpkin spice. It was awesome. Then you got rotting meat smells and mildew and mold.
Yeah.
I love how they do that. And from when I went all the years ago to the day haunt that they do, one of the people that took us through pointed out where all the little smell stations are. And so you can get up close and you can see where they're at or smell them a little better if you like. But they have so many. Like they have a smell for every section, which I think is just so cool.
Yeah. I noticed that last night.
And they have a whole other haunted house with inside if you want to do another one. And that one, we're gonna have to do that one at some point too. But it is so scary.
Really?
Yeah.
The Institute of Terror one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you being for real?
I was scared the whole time. It's mostly pitch black the whole time. And
Oh, that was the one where he said like they had stuff on the wall when we were walking
mhm,
through. So it makes it feel like, okay. I couldn't remember if that was in the house we were going through or that one. I kept waiting
yeah.
for it.
No, that's the other haunted house. So you can pay a little bit more. I think this is like $15 or something.
Yeah.
You can go to that one and it really is like terrifying just because you just don't know what's around the corner. It's just completely pitch black. You're feeling stuff on your head. Things are touching you. There's wet things.
Huh.
It's a whole other level. It's nightmare scary, right? It's good. They get some good scares, but that one is terrifying.
Do you have to go through Nightmare to
I
be able
think
to go
so.
to?
Hmm.
Hmm,
So you can't just go just for the Institute of Terror.
interesting. I guess we missed our chance.
Hey, it's another episode at some point, Nate.
There we
So
go. Next year,
next year, maybe.
we'll start saving our monies.
Any last thoughts? Any other things you want to point out?
No, it was fun. We did have, like you said, a large group and we were at the front. So when we knew like somebody jumped out at us and you guys didn't see it, I don't know if you guys noticed, but we would stop to watch your guys' reaction. So that was fun. That was entertaining.
It was.
But one thing I thought was interesting is you a few weeks ago said, "Hey, here's this like discount code for today, right?" And then I see like on Facebook a week later, like it looked like it was a better code, and I punched it in, and it gives you the exact same price. So
Oh,
all the
really?
codes they give, like somehow it just always ends up being the same price.
Yeah, you can get the little cards at the store.
Yeah,
Gas stations have them. It's the same
yeah,
price.
yeah. It's the same price.
Just don't pay full price for the haunted house. That's our tip that we'll give you. There's
Well,
always a discount.
I was wondering too, because like it said it was only like $28 or something if you bought at the ticket booth. And I'm like, if I brought my 7-Eleven coupon, would it be cheaper without the processing fee?
I
But then you
doubt.
risk, yeah, it's probably all the same at the end of the day.
Yeah, they probably don't let you use that there, I'd assume.
So basically, I think what was it like $51 for two people? That's with taxes and all the fees.
Hmm.
So $25 a person.
It's really not that bad.
No, considering that you guys spent like $90
80.
to go to $80 to go to three crappy haunted houses at Lagoon and then do two rides.
Yeah.
So
Yes. Agreed. But I think, as I mentioned, Matt had the idea to do a trilogy. All we go to three houses, three haunted houses in one night. And we'll have to be very strategic about this because, you know, that can
yes,
take
so
some
that's why
time. You
like
don't want to
when
go
you're
at the height of the October time, but there's a way we could do at least three in the valley. I think this one Nightmare, Fear Factory, and probably Castle of Chaos.
yeah, so that was my thought last night when we left. So it's kind of interesting Matt's on the same wavelength, but I'm like Matt because we have season passes to Lagoon, but I'm telling my wife, I said, like Brandon and Matt spent 80, $90, which they could have gone to 300 houses for that price and known that the 300 houses were going to be higher quality
Quality.
than what they got at Lagoon.
Yeah.
So I wasn't thinking an all-nighter type thing, but I think that would be fun. It'd be interesting. Like, would we be like, okay, we're done with haunted houses for a while if you did three in one night, or would you
I don't
just,
know. I think it sounds fun.
or would you love it,
I'd love it, I
or would you
think.
think it's just okay?
Yes. Yes, one of those three options.
One of those three options. Yeah, I think that'd be fun. So next year, that's the plan. If anybody wants to join, let us know. We'll book our tickets.
Actually, probably
So
don't because it'll be better if it's just a small group. We don't want anyone to come with us.
we'll say that they can come and then we just don't show up.
Oh, there you go. We'll go a
Well,
different night.
you know how they do like cruise ships with
Celebrities.
gas celebrity stuff. So that's what we're doing. Well, we can do a haunted house trip and anybody who wants to come. But we go through first on our own and you guys follow.
I'm surprised that the haunted houses haven't got together to create like a master pass, like, hey, go through all three haunted houses in one day type thing.
Was there I feel like some of the haunted houses were like owned by same people back. Maybe I'm just making this up, but I felt like you got like discounted if you went to one haunted house, you can get discount to another one back in the
Yeah, some of
90s.
them were like owned by the same people. These ones are not, so it's
Yeah, and I
not
get
as
that.
easy. But
I
the
get
the
that.
biggest challenge in our we're probably gonna have to start with Fear Factory because I think that one's gonna take the longest because you have to do the bus to get there back and forth. You have to do, I mean, the line's always long there. But if we do it right, I think we'll be okay. We could do three in one night. We'll have to plan it out.
Or would that one need to be the last one just to make sure that
Mm,
you didn't, you know
waste
what I
all your
mean?
time there. I
Not
don't
have
know.
time.
We got a whole year to think about it. Let us
You
know
know what
if
I'm
you
most
if
excited about doing it?
what's that?
Is that Matt says we can eat our Taco Bell at Taco Bell.
That is the bright spot.
So excited for next year's Taco Bell.
Fresh Taco Bell.
Fresh Taco Bell, crunchy
Are we gonna
Taco
do it
Bell.
in between haunted houses? Or are we gonna start there? Like it's a whole new tradition.
I thought about that. So I'll probably bring some Pepto-Bismol just to make sure I don't crap my pants in the
Mm,
haunted house.
or maybe we should go after, just
Maybe
just to be
after.
safe.
That's probably a good idea. Because they're open late, I hear.
You're gonna
Taco
have
Bell.
something scared out of you anyway. Do you want it to
I might not. Yeah.
You want to
Yeah.
even double your chances of that happening?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, let us know if you've been to Nightmare on 13th, what your favorite thing is. And again, Nightmare, if you're listening, we'd love to chat. Let us know. And also, why don't you do a Christmas thing?
Yeah.
Do a Christmas haunted house. That'd be
And
awesome.
shame on you, Murray City. You ruined our lives by
So
shutting
good.
down Death City.
One thing that's probably, and I think I heard him talking about this when we went to the movie. They shut down after in like November, and they like take all the time off, and then they come back in January or February, and they just
Yeah.
go work straight to
Halloween.
Halloween season. And they have a lot that they need to do. So I'm surprised so many stay open during Christmas season because that's probably a good time to take off and prepare for the
Next
upcoming
year's.
years.
Is Castle of Chaos still open year round?
I think so, and I think we might have a Christmas event in our future
Okay,
if we're lucky.
fair enough.
So we might get to go see Castle of Chaos this year. We'll see. Not gonna make any promises. But until then, we hope everybody has an awesome Halloween. You've had a good Halloween season. And as always, thanks for listening to This Is a Place podcast.
And this was a place we just talked about. Ooh.